Welcome, family and friends, to the Pillow Talk conversation. We have the Crofts with us, John and Shabika. I'm gonna call you Bika for short. Is that okay? All right, all right. So, if you don't mind, just tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm a nurse for the last almost 20 years.
All right.
He sells cars. He's been in the automobile industry forever, too. We have 4 children, biological children, 2 adopted children. We have 5 grandsons.
Right.
That live close to us, and then there's another 8 grandchildren, 2 granddaughters, and 6 grandsons that live in Georgia. And then 1 granddaughter who lives in McKinsey.
Okay.
So, yeah. That's about it, right? Everybody's grown.
All right. Okay. All right.
So how long have y'all been married?
27 years.
All right.
You can talk.
Yeah, like you said, marriage is very important. We learned early in life that it was a lot harder than we thought it was. But I told my sister when I moved from college, kind of like the pastor saying, all the loose women gotta go, and they weren't about anything. I was about to get serious because I was getting older. So I was tired of the games, playing around and stuff like that. Get serious. My sister said, "Go find that when you go to school. We'll see." Sure enough, I thought so when I first moved up here.
Right.
It happened. And then I met her. I said, man, she got ambition, she got a head on her shoulders. Then we looked at the children at the time, they were young. She might be good. And then we just really became really good friends. I told her it was the best relationship I had.
All right.
And we just, like you said, hung out,
Mm-hmm.
ate. And one thing just led to another.
So let me ask you. I don't mean to cut you off, but so how did you two meet?
We. I mean, keeping it real.
That's
Keep it
right.
real.
Everybody
I
meet
know.
in church.
I come from Harrisburg, from the hard part. Came up here is a lot different from me being in the sticks, so to speak.
Sure.
And I ain't really had anybody because I went to school for automotive, of course, and obtained a social degree in that field. But didn't have really a lot of good influences, excuse me, in my life at that time. It wasn't safe at that time, so I was doing what normal people do, live in the world, And I met one of the bishop's wives now. These two were good friends, And mind you, never forget it. My wife told me this day, you make sure you speak when you go in the house with my place. I said, okay. So I used to go in and sit down, watching TV, and change the channel. And my wife told her friend, what the heck is this dude coming out trying to change channels and stuff? And then one thing led to another. Then, I got to meet her, and then, start visiting her more often and stuff. And then, like I said, we became really good friends. And she went to the pastor course. And, she wasn't short at the time. I definitely wasn't short at the time. But it was leading us closer to marriage. I told Pastor Morris, I don't know what it is, but either one. I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't easy for the first couple of years. A lot of learning process, a lot of bring baggage with you to learn to overcome certain things. And it was definitely the Lord that got us through all of our stuff that we didn't go through. Without him, I definitely say we wouldn't be here today.
Wow.
Because of his faithfulness and his relationship and the relationship that we learned to develop is where we're at now.
All right.
So you said early on, I'm sorry, you want to say something? Okay. You said early on, there were kids. And you saw there were kids, but you were serious about her. So tell me a little bit about that. Like there were already some kids when you guys got together.
Right.
And then you have, y'all have a daughter too. So there's 4 girls. Am I counting 4 girls at the time? So then you got her, so there's 5. So how's that going into a house with 5 females?
That was something else. Because to be honest, me and my oldest daughter didn't really click well. At her age, she knew who her father was, of course. Here, me coming to the picture, we didn't just click. And then when she got older, one day I just took her to work with me. She worked with me and had a great time. We had a long conversation on the way home. And things been a lot better since then. The rest of the children was 6 months old, you know, so that's Melissa, that's my next youngest. I pretty much raised her. You know, she, you know, her pops was later down the line, but that's another story. And then Kamaya, she was the observative one. She was 2. She didn't trust nobody, not even me. For that matter, but as she learned to be around me and stuff, and like I work on cars and stuff, and I like to play basketball.
I would say that's your mini me. That's
Yeah,
your
all day. I told myself, you gotta understand, in my profession, a lot of females get taken because of that kind of stuff going to shop. So here's stuff I can show you, small things that you know how to take care of the car for yourself. And she can do everything,
Yeah.
which is great. You know,
I remember you told me that. You knew how to change oil and
Yeah.
change the tire.
Yep.
My daddy, you know,
Right.
if you want to drive, you have to learn how to do it all.
I'm like,
Okay.
I'm going to have me some boys.
But to think back, I remember I had 3 children when I met him. And I remember I had just gotten through my life. I was like, God, I told God I had tried it my way.
Right.
I was done trying it my way. And I remember he, like you said, we had a mutual friend. He was being my friend, but I didn't take her, ma'am.
Right.
She actually called and asked me to, like, she was saying that she didn't want to be with him anymore. And I, you know, we had a conversation, and my phone rings one day, and he calls me. And I said, like, how did you get my number? And he said, she gave it to me. You know, and I told him, I said, you're nice guys, you're not interested anymore. It's time to move on. You know, and that's how we started becoming friends. We started calling me, and we would just talk about life. And I remember sitting down with him and asking him, you know, talking about the Lord, and I got Uncle Ron involved in talking with him, and that was my main concern. And actually, I was trying to hook him up with my friend Autumn, because I was like, oh, he's such a nice guy. You know what I mean? I didn't even see myself dating him. You know what I mean?
Wow, okay.
To me, it was immature, and I was on a different level. And you know what I mean? I wasn't
Sure.
looking for that. And yeah. So we just ended up, and then one day he said to me, well, what's up, what do you do? And I was just like, I'm not out here playing no games anymore. You know, I got kids, girls to raise, but I would come home, and he would be helping my mom with the girls. I would be out, call home and check on the kids. My mom, John's here, you can put the baby to sleep. And I was like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? And then, so that's how we started, like, really.
So let me ask you, I mean, so by you taking the initiative
That's
to
what we did.
take care of the kids and to help out, I mean, you knew she was the one then? Or were you just trying to get in, you know what I'm
I
saying?
get my feet in the door.
Right, okay.
That's right.
All right, so once he got his feet in the door, Vika,
Yes.
when did you know he was the one?
I remember we were talking about marriage, and like I had told him, I was like, I ain't gonna lie, we had to like start slipping into messing up, and we were just like, nah. I was like, we're not doing this. And he had just given his life to Christ,
Right.
and we had sat down and had a conversation like, we're not doing this. We're not gonna be having sex without marriage, and we need to, you know, figure out what we're doing.
Okay.
And so he, I went to talk to Uncle Ryan. It was this. I just knew I couldn't shake it. And I didn't even like. I remember I sat down with Uncle Ryan like.
And Uncle Ronnie is your pastor?
My pastor.
Okay, all right.
And
Just so the
yes,
audience will know.
And I remember sitting down with him. I'm like, I need some direction. And he was like, let's talk about it. And he was like, and we started counseling and stuff. And he was like, I don't know how to tell you. I said, I just know that this is one that God just keeps telling me that this is he's the one. And he said, well, then we don't have to have another conversation. And and then that was it. And then he started doing counseling, and that's how we ended up talking about getting married.
All right.
So 27 years later, here you are.
Yes.
And we were fortunate enough to be with y'all when y'all celebrated your 25th. And
Yes.
I can't remember where we went.
Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, that's right. With the Baxters. I mean, with the, oh my gosh, my goodness, with the Porchers. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Yes. So in those 27 years, tell me, you know, without going into great detail, but being as transparent as possible, we know, and we ask all couples this, there's highs and there's lows in marriage. Within those 27 years, how have you two been able to navigate through those low times?
God has given us great support people. I remember when we were going through our hardest times, He positioned Miss Holland into our lives. And she just ministered to us. And I had my friend Diane, who always would tell me, like, that girl, she wasn't even married, but she was the one, I always was packing my bag. Like, I'm ready to go, I'm leaving. And she would always say, like, you know, I'm telling you, she would always talk about the good that she saw. And you know what I mean? She's like, don't give up. Don't, you know, God is working on him. And I remember one day we were, like, it was a bad fight, and I was like, God, you gave this man to me, and it just caused me to stumble. And I remember him plain as day, he told me, I keep your mouth shut. I get to pick and choose what's good for this man. And I can't begin to deal with him until I deal with you. Because you're the one who knows better. And I was in my kitchen, and I was just like, as I kept my mouth shut. When he came in the house, I walked out the door, and I remember bawling. I was driving school bus at the time, and I bawled and I cried, and the spirit was so heavy, and I was just praising God. When I got back home, he was cleaning where I left off, and like it was peace.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it takes a lot of hearing from God.
It does.
All right. John?
I would say the kids seem like part of that issue, you know, because like I was being a father coming into the picture with 3 children before our daughter was actually born. That was kind of tough, to be honest. But I learned who they was, as different characters they had, different things they like to do, you know, and after that it was all right. It was that initial getting over that hump, learning each of those, you know, personalities and stuff like that. And they all different, you know. You got one in basketball, one likes to do this, one likes to do that. You know, you just gotta learn different things, different ways that make things work. Everybody's not gonna be all happy, but you know, have some peace. That's important for it.
Kudos to you. Not a lot of men will, you know, take that on.
Yeah, another man's responsibility.
Right. And nobody, and I mean, I'm just speaking just, you know, from what I see from you two, nobody would ever know that, you know, you didn't birth those, well, you birthed them, but nobody
right.
would ever know
That's right.
that you weren't there, or that, you know, your seed wasn't planted in her with the rest of those girls, because they all just, your dad.
Yeah.
Your
Right.
dad.
And they do it
So,
like
yeah.
it has been. Like I said, and it's not perfect. It was never perfect. And there was trials, and there was good times, bad times. But at the end of the day, there was love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, everybody's love language is different. And learning. And then I can honestly, I remember like there was a time my girl would be the ones like, Mom, you know what I mean? Like, because they loved him. Like. They would go to battle for him. You know what I mean? Like, and I would be like, what? You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, like, and I think as they've gotten older too, the appreciation of him being there. Like, and their struggles with their biological dads, you know what I mean? That they, like, this is, you can't tell them. You know what I mean? So.
It's amazing having girls. I'll let you talk, but just listening to you say that stuff. Sometimes, like even when my husband, and it's not even so much as an argument. It just might be a disagreement. Like he'll say, "You didn't tell me that," or "You didn't say this," or I might say, "You didn't say this or say that." My daughter's in the background listening. Well, Dad, truthfully, and what did she? How did she say? You know, I don't even know how she words it, but truthfully, she did say that, or you know, or she'll say the same, same thing to me. Well, maybe you weren't listening when he said, you know. I'm like, those daughters, they know how to check us both, and they listen. But I say, when you look at it, you're teaching them, what marriage is like,
Yeah.
and how to treat their spouse and how they should be treated. So, we have to keep that stuff in mind too. We're training our children.
Yeah.
We have 2 sons, and I said, neither one of them are married, and my kids are in their 30s. I'm like, are we that tough? Like, do we make it look, do we set the bar too high? But hey, one day, don't want the same,
Exactly.
that we have. But you
Right.
just have
you
one.
train them up, and you just believe, Lord, when they get on their own and they have to do what they're going to do, that they'll use wisdom. And so I'm just hoping and praying. But nevertheless, let me just add that we've known you two for quite some time, and just from when the children were younger, and now they're adults with their own children. I can't say, man, that them girls, they love you, bro. And like you said, you're their father, and so kudos to you, man. I mean, I've watched that through the years, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing. Now, I hear you guys are empty nesters. Is that true?
Yes.
All right.
No, he's
okay.
saying kinda.
Okay.
Well, okay.
You know
I
the
see where you're
grandbabies
going.
will come by.
Yeah, we got a one grandson.
You kick mama
Right.
out when you want.
And she,
So how do you guys enjoy it to a certain degree?
How
I'm
does
gonna
that
say,
work?
be honest, I love it. So we first moved back here from Ohio, back in 16. We decided we weren't going to sell our house and start all over again, So we moved back, and it was just us, period. It was
Right.
great. I loved it. And about a year later, here comes Mom. And she loves to cook. That kitchen's her domain.
Right.
I just have to go behind her and make sure things tidied up. I'm very OCD. But
No
even
problem.
with that being said, I even learned to love her. 'Cause that's my wife's mother. I respect that, and as a child and errors, over the years with that, fighting with that kind of stuff. And the only one who was hurt is myself.
Mm-hmm.
But she's a great woman.
Yeah.
And then me and her, as far as that goes, we just got close, and I got the little wraparound couch now, and every night we just get up there after work and take our shower and just enjoy each other,
Mm-hmm.
And every certain holiday come around, I always make sure I get her Valentine's, I tell me that stuff. I've been buying her bears for years that have the year of that bear, so she got tons of them.
Mm-hmm.
Dozens of roses, This year for her birthday, we decided we weren't gonna go anywhere,
Mhm.
so she wanted to see her best friend. So I had her take a train clear to New Jersey. That was her gift.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a chance to let her spend time with her best friend.
Good.
Whole time though, I missed her. I told her a couple times this first day.
Just a couple. Come on, man.
But yeah, man, we learn to love each other, enjoy each other, and we're actually doing a book now. It's called Be Afraid. Don't Be Afraid.
Do it afraid.
Do It Afraid. This is by
Okay.
Joyce Myers, and that book is really opening my eyes.
Okay.
On certain things in life and about marriage. So.
All right. Good.
So y'all your youngest daughter just got married.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing. You walked her down the aisle.
did.
And, so
That was
congratulations. And now y'all got a grandbaby.
Yeah.
So wait,
All right.
what was it? July was the year they've been married. Was it July?
It'll be 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, this July will be
Okay.
2 years that
Okay.
they've
Yes.
been married.
Mhm.
And he is a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But and watching them is honestly teaching us a lot. Like,
Okay.
yeah, but they're good together. The way they balance each other out, and
Good.
yeah. But they tell me all the time, like, we expect. They look at their dad like they gotta treat us like that. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what I'm saying. You
and-
set that
yeah.
bar. That's it.
So, yeah.
But he's also another one. My son, I call me, that's my son-in-law, calls me Pops, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He really have a father in his life.
Okay.
So he really looks up to me. So I want to try to set that bar high as I can to let him see that too, you know,
Sure.
because he comes from a broken background like I did. So he just clings onto me, you know,
Okay.
which I think is great,
Right.
you know. But at the same time, like I said, he loves my daughter. He truly appreciates her. They pray together in the morning time, even though I send like devotionals to all of them in the morning time. They do everything together. Now, I ain't gonna say they had a little bounty when they first got started. He was out, she was out. No, baby girl. You right. You got that ring. Yes, you out. That's your responsibility. He's responsibility now. Your mommy's always gonna be here, but you said, I do on that day. That's for better, for worse.
Yeah.
Death do us part.
That's good
Now, when
teaching.
things get bad, you want to run off somewhere.
Yeah.
No, don't work that way. That's a commitment between you and God.
Yes.
That no man to separate, man, that God has put together.
That's
So
right.
I think that's very serious.
So, before we close, is there any advice that either of you would like to give to a younger couple out there that may be watching, or to newlyweds? I know you guys, like, again, you've given advice to your daughter and your son-in-law, because I actually seen they're on the list to come to the Pillow Talk conference. So y'all must have said something to encourage them to come. So hey. But is there any advice that you would like to give to any younger couple or to a set of newlyweds that are out there that are listening today?
I would say for the males, learn to listen and learn her body language. And most importantly, not everybody is equally yoked, but as you learn one another, pray together, and realize that this ain't something that's going away, you'll be okay. We're not gonna say there's not gonna be trials and tribulations, but marriage is something that you work on all the time.
All the time.
It's just not today and tomorrow we done. No, you're constantly learning. So most people, they say most marriages won't last 2 years. That's the toughest parts of it, which is true. Because you're learning her, she's learning you, whatever situation you're dealing with, you're trying to deal with that stuff. But if it's something God put together, then it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna stay together. But it's gonna take work.
Yeah.
And so like you were saying, when it comes to daytime stuff, my wife, once again, she's like everybody else. She likes to go out. I'm a home bug, she knows that. Same my grandson, he a home bug, stay with Pat. But when she says she work hard or something, we do something. Like one day, it's home cleaning, and I said I was off work because I work like crazy all the time. Sales, there ain't no days off, you know that, I'm selling cars. And I said, well, we go to movies, huh? It's out of Clear Blue. No, I said, no, we won. And we won, we had a great time.
All right.
So, like you said, dating is very important. But like at the same time, you said you don't have to simply go somewhere. You can just take a walk at the park or something like that, and just enjoy one another. So,
Y'all go out on the bikes together.
yeah. Yep.
And I would just say that being patient, kind to one another, and he is your best friend. And when you think about a best friend, like I have a girlfriend that, like, I don't care, she murdered somebody, she did whatever, I'm gonna be like, okay, we're gonna figure it out. We gonna, you know what I mean? That's what, you know what I mean? But this is your best friend. You know what I mean? Like, you should be patient with them. Like, you want them to be with you. Treat each other the way that you want to be treated. You know what I mean? But we're so hard and judgmental on our spouses than we are our friends. Which, you know what I mean? They're gonna have your back before your friends will have your back. You know what I mean? So that's the thing that I had to learn. Like, you know what I mean? I had my expectations for him were sometimes, what do you call it, unrealistic.
Okay.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That he is
He's human.
human. He is imperfect like I'm imperfect. And so I had to learn how to accept him for who he is. You know what I mean? Accept them for each other as who they are.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, everything's not bad. Just because they're not like you, don't mean it's wrong. So I think that would be.
Some people enter into marriage thinking they're going to fix the other
Yes.
person, and where in reality, we already know how it works. You know, God has to work on you. And I remember my husband telling the story, and he's told it often. He was on the altar praying, actually on the altar.
Yes, I was. We had a spat.
We had intense fellowship.
You could call it that if you like. We had a spat. And so I had a key to the church. I went to the altar and I'm up there
Yeah, he
praying.
wasn't pastor, Nick.
God, change my wife.
He wanted him to fix me.
And that's right. I said, God, fix this woman. Change her. And when I was on that altar, I heard the Lord. He told me to get up off the altar. And he said, the only one that needs fixing or change was me. And he said, when I change, you'll see the change in her. So I got up off the altar, went back home, and I had to change my ways. And God is so good that, you know, I began to change my way of thinking, my attitude, and I can see it. It changed her into the woman that I wanted. And
Won't he
the
do
creator,
it? Won't he do it?
the creator,
Won't he
the
will?
creator to create, you know what I mean, the universe. He made man and woman. You know, he knows everything about
Flesh.
us.
What is it? Flesh
So,
in my flesh, bone in my bone.
That's right. So when I change, he changed. Let me just say this as we close, but there is something that I was hearing, you know, from the different couples. Everyone was saying that, you know, and including my wife and I, you know, we were immature when we got married. We were very immature. And but one thing I can say that all the couples has also said that they wanted it to work, and it will work.
Yes.
And divorce was not an option. And you know, one thing about marriage, I mean, we may have started out immature, but as we began to know and to love one another, you know, that was a certain phase. And as you continue on in marriage, it's another phase. And so we continue to grow and build a relationship.
Ride the wave.
And now we're at another phase. So,
Ride the wave.
you know, kudos to you both.
Yes, yes.
It was a pleasure talking with you two. And just looking forward to the conference.
Yes.
And is there anything else you would like to add, my love?
No. Do you guys have anything to add?
All right.
No. We definitely appreciate your time, and we just pray that whatever was said, that it would be a blessing to
Yes.
someone that is watching or hearing us.
Yes. All right, let's give it up for the Crofts. On and beat up.